Yeah, that first time I was there, I never went again. It's fantastic to see you. I've met one or two of you, haven't met all of you yet. I'm Marcel, this is Jim, otherwise known as James. Big shout out to Jen at the end of the table there, presiding over things. Thank you, Jen. Jen is the gallery, so thanks to Jen for letting this happen in this space. John, you're on the clock.
Hello, I'm John Welch, I'm 16 and I go to St Peter's School. This is a school project I've been doing on a Thursday morning for about an hour a week. It's a robotic lawnmower. It's got bump sensors and sort of Arduino and breadboard. This is a picture of prototype 1. Back then it was quite a bit smaller. This is another person we had, a friend of mine, Harvey. We've got continuous servo motors. This is it up close. We've got the Arduino, which basically tells it what to do. We've got the breadboard, which you can connect all the different things to. And at this time it ran on a 9-volt battery. This was it before, in the earlier stages, before we put blades on it. We put a pen on the end of it to make it draw. But we did not have any bump sensors, so it just sort of drove and turned. It's quite difficult to control. But it was quite good. Quite a bit of fun. This one, the first prototype, was made out of CDs for the main platform for it. So it was quite simple and easy to make. Basically anybody could make it if they had a little bit of skill in electronics and probably had access to the internet for ideas. This is when we went to Trollocs for some ideas. They have a Husqvarna version of it, which is one they sell. The cheapest is about £1,400, which is quite expensive, so we thought we'd make our own. This is how it works. It's quite efficient.
So this is a robotic lawnmower anyone can buy at the moment?
Yeah, at Trollocs. So it has a Husqvarna one. As you can see, it bumps into it. They've got sort of infrared sensors and they've got like buried in wiring around the outside that if it bumps into it, it reverses back and knows to turn. This is a more recent version of with the bumps on. Everything. It's got 3 wheels to keep it going quite simple. It's got a capacitor because originally it got a few power problems starting up. With the capacitor it gets general power flow. This is it about to bump into something. To show you how the bumpers work. The camera wasn't a very good idea. We're about to start working on prototype 3, which we're going to make bigger, stronger, a bigger battery, and see if we can finally get the blades on it and get them working, and see if we can finally get it cutting grass.
We've got 5 minutes of Q&A if you want it.
So knowing that the other one costs 1,400, how much do you think it would cost to make once you have got all the blades and things on it?
Not really that much, really. This one wouldn't really cost that much to make.
So like under 100 quid?
Yeah, I think so. The Arduino is probably about £20-ish, and most of the other parts are quite cheap. You could probably build it for under £50.
Make a fortune. So yours are 500 quid.
I mean, you make more money just having a fleet and renting them out.
Yeah.
How long do the batteries last?
Well, I haven't really tested it, but probably a couple of weeks.
Oh, right, well, that's constant use.
Yeah, I think so.
You have it
Oh,
over in
okay.
the garden for a couple of weeks. You can have it just going constantly.
And if they run out, you can just charge them up quite simply because they're just basic AA rechargeable
Yeah.
at the moment.
So the circuitry doesn't actually use that much power.
Not that much. So we've got it all sort of all more efficient, so it doesn't use so much power with sort of fluid and all.
How long were you when you first started sort of getting into electronics and making things?
Probably about 14, I think.
Okay. And do you self-taught then, or do you do electronics at school?
At school with Mansell.
Oh, right, okay.
That's not a normal. I certainly wasn't offered that in school.
No. Oh.
That's interesting. Is it specific to your school or?
Yeah.
You doing it as a GCSE then, or?
Not really, this is sort of like an extra thing, a bit of fun.
The wheels look quite small. Are they going to be a problem in a donkey garden?
Yeah, in the next sort of prototype 3, we're going to put much bigger wheels on.
Once you've finalised the design, how long do you anticipate each one taking you to make?
Well, once we sort of know how to build it, it'll probably take just a couple of days.
Good time to get between the kids on the table.
Would it be too much hassle, do you think, to convert it to almost get a normal petrol lawnmower and control the throttle and everything like that?
Well, it wouldn't really be that much hassle because it sort of runs on its own. You just put it in the garden, it will just cut the ground.
No, I was just thinking to have the servos run the throttle of a petrol lawnmower or something to steer it.
If it's going around the garden constantly,
Yeah.
so solar power or something, then you wouldn't need to have that stronger blade because if it trimmed it constantly, you know, it kept it.
Yeah.
Depending how big it was.
Bare ground.
That's a good point. Grass grows when it's sunny, so could it just be solar powered?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be very good on its solar powered, but solar
you need
powered
quite
is
a
quite
lot of-
expensive.
You need quite a large solar panel, they get quite expensive. But yeah, possible.
So are you going to work on the speed as well?
Well, we haven't really
Quite
focused
fair.
that much on speed.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really have to go that fast, it's just really cutting the grass.
But if it's doing it constantly, it doesn't
Doesn't
really matter.
matter.
Or when you go to sleep and in the morning you wake up and it's all that.
Yeah,
Bit lousy, you know, isn't it?
But you'd have to make an application sort of thing as well.
That would make sense, wouldn't it?
little bag on the side.
Are you intending to do them commercially, or is that just?
Possibly, eventually, but at the moment we're just trying to get a prototype through and get a finished product.
Yeah.
And have you been approached by anybody to kind of, anybody interested in it to kind of market it or anything like that? Have you kind of shown it to anybody else? Any other?
We haven't really shown it to anybody yet.
Is there anything else you'd really like to make? Kind of anything else in the pipeline? I know you've got any prototypes.
Possibly, there's a few things, but I can't really think of anything.
Somebody move the biscuits.
Can they also play music instead of the sound, you know what I mean? Really relaxing.
Can you recommend
The
any
wind
tracks?
chimes.
Yeah, you'll be listening in as well, you know.
That's it, it's done a really good job in there. So it's sort of, it's,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Seems like a good clearance.
the advantage of upscaling to a large device is with a petrol or
Okay.
Is that degree upscale power-wise?
That's it. That's it. No more questions. Time is done. I know it's not very loud, but time is gone. That's it. Strictly. Press the button. Strictly 5 minutes, I did warn you. Fantastic. Thank you, John. Down to business. Irina, start the timer. Oh yeah, I'm interviewing you, aren't I?
Yes, you are.
Sorry.
No questions because you didn't bring them.
Who are you? What do you do?
Oh, can I stay here? Awesome. I'm Marina. I'm from Russia. I'm Marina. I was born in Russia, then I moved around Europe a bit, and now I'm moved here to explore the lovely island.
Why did you come to Guernsey?
I got engaged to that long man over there.
The long man?
Yeah. You said that was real. Tall. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Welcome. Making things, being creative. How did this start for you?
I don't know, my sister was always making things. She put together like a fashion label. And she started doing that since she was like, I don't know, 12, always drawing things. And I think I always liked decorating my room and rearranging things, and I thought that's what all the other kids do, you know, paint their rooms every week and, you know, destroy furniture. But I went to uni and I realised, no, that's not what normal kids do. It's just, so yeah, it was just, I don't know, I always loved doing that.
And what things are you into?
I love fashion, more of like the way clothes are made rather than the whole industry, you know, runways, small companies, and photography, and interior design. Anything that has to do with furniture, recycling furniture, reusing them, binding them on the skip. That is my best thing to do in free time. So yeah.
What are your challenges as a maker?
As a maker, because I moved to the island not very long time ago, like 5 months ago, not less. I still didn't find my way around the island, so I don't really know where to get my resources or where to get stuff the way I did when I was back home. So, because I don't really like buying things online without feeling them, touching them, smelling them, whatever. I just like to see them and then get them. So yeah, I don't really know where to get around and get the stuff.
Maybe that's something other people
Yes,
here
if
are
you
aware
have
of.
sacks of old clothes that your great-grandmother left you, or anything else that you think this is rubbish, I will take it.
Fantastic. That's an offer, isn't it?
Yes.
What are you working on right now?
At the moment, I'm working on my wedding, which takes a lot of time, so I'm making my own decorations for it, so it's really, and it's in the field, so it's a lot of space to decorate, and I'm
You're
doing
making
a
the
bit.
dress, aren't you?
Hmm?
Aren't you making the dress?
Yes, yes. My sister making dress and we're making for bridesmaids all the dresses. So yeah, it's not playing the best of it. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's not gonna be my wedding dress, obviously, but you know, there. So this is the clothes to make for my. Do I have to press it every time?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't tell me that. Oh, can you press it? Thank you. Okay, okay. So I'll show you some things that I've been doing with photos because I've been quite a bit of goals that was bored. I was practicing burning photos on different type of things. So that was burned into wood. It's not very well made because I was in a hurry and I didn't actually wrap the paper properly. So again, something I found stapled together and put a little. That's for you, Tom. The birthday. Yeah, and then my new sister-in-law said, "Oh, can you make me something on a mug?" And I thought, "Whoa, kids love that." So I printed her one on a mug, and she loved it. I was like, "Oh, I can actually, you know, entertain kids with that." And yeah, and I was trying to do a chair for this presentation. I found the chair on an empty office bit, and I tried to redo it, but it didn't work. But I managed to peel it off the fabric and make a cushion out of it. So I'm very happy about this. And I lost a bit of it, but anyway, it's somewhere there. I didn't finish it. But, you know, even if I don't use it as something else, I'll use it as something different. So, if you have anything you want to throw away, throw it my way.
Yeah, I think Irina's got a common call for resources. If ever you've been to another place and even lived there or just visited, just finding things you'll know is just hard. Even if it's just a piece of A4 paper, where do you go? I mean, you know, around here you know where to go, don't you? But if someone, you know, dropped you into other place, just finding things, and especially odd things and unusual things, not just a pen, but finding odd fabrics. Time. Irina.
Thank you.
Any questions for Irina?
How do you do that? How do you burn photos onto things?
Oh, I
Can I
use,
have a look at them?
yeah? Oh, this is the part of my cushion. I love it.
The tail.
Yeah, the tail kind of goes the top of it, but I didn't finish it. Oh yeah, I'll show you.
Can you burn photos onto anything?
Yes. You basically, well, this one, you basically put a gel on it with a bit of gel. Because I knew you'd ask questions. So, this kind of gel, you can buy any paint shop. You put on top, you have to photocopy the photo with the laser printer. You just stick it on, leave it overnight.
Onto paper?
Yeah.
Or transparency? No.
No, just normal paper. Just
Normal
print
paper,
it out,
oh, right.
yeah. Just stick it on and after a few hours or the next day, spray with water and just rub it out, and that's it. So I even
And it
brought,
just transfers the...
So that's upside down.
yeah, so basically I brought you, that's a tile for example, I stick a photo on top of it, I left it overnight so you can, and if someone wants to see, just spray with water, rub it out, and you see what happens on the tile. So I do have this if you want to see how
How
it
long
works.
did it last?
I haven't practiced yet how long. You put another column of gel on top of it, so it doesn't rub off.
Because I could put pictures into his eggs,
Yeah.
but they have to not scratch off.
There's various coatings you can put on there.
Yeah,
Lots of
different
coatings.
colours, yeah. Yeah.
Never in those eggs.
Yeah.
See if you bought it.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah.
Brilliant. Love it.
Are you self-taught then, or did you study at college or anything?
No, I'm self-taught. I'm very inspired by Russian culture, the folk culture, so like hats and everything that made my sister make fashion I do for at home. It just kind of goes back to childhood memories, and I feel like it's dorky and magical because that's all I remember from it. And so yeah. Oh yeah, that's another fabric made out of my family photos that we use as well.
That's really cool.
So yeah. So it's very family focused, what I did, and yeah, I just love reusing my old photos that my parents had.
Just want to tell people that you're not just, you have actually got a proper fashion label and you're selling clothes
Yes,
in boutiques.
yes.
It's not,
Yeah.
you know, it's something that's seriously going and happening. Otherwise
Yeah.
it sounds a bit.
What's the
like
name of
you
your
don't know.
fashion label?
Right.
Down for you,
Yeah.
that one down for me. But we can chat that
Yeah.
later. But that sounds great.
Yeah.
Because where are you selling the things?
In London, Poland, and Russia. Yeah. Oh, this is a. Sorry, I'm over 5 minutes. I'm really sorry.
Carry on, you've got 2 minutes left.
This is my hat scarf that we made for the fashion. This is a scarf, but it's also a hat. I'm very happy. I'm very proud of it. So, yeah. Oh yeah, that's how you spell it, by the way.
Oh, great.
So I'm proud of it. So yeah, that's it. I'm
So
done.
are you mass manufacturing the hat scarf?
Yes. Kind of. Yeah.
On green.
Okay. I'm done.
What does it mean?
It's my surname.
Oh, right.
Yeah. A little bit bad. So, yeah.
So could people give you their family photos and you could print their scarf?
We did that one in France because we don't have at the moment a printer of our own to print everything, but that's something we really want to do.
So you could print reams of your own
Yes,
material for
yes.
your own family.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anybody else? Fantastic. Thank you very much. From robotics to aesthetics and fashion to Rouse. 5 minutes, you're on the clock.
Right, there's been a few things. Recently, there's been a big sort of talk in the sort of maker circle, and I don't know if you've been online. A lot of what me and Mansell have come from is what's known as the maker movement in the US. There's a big push in the US at the moment for the sort of DIY movement. It's sort of a bit of a renaissance, and they're trying to sort of say at the moment, well, why can't this be like the new Scouts for kids as well? Why can't we have people who are learning, kids who are learning, teenagers who are learning stuff and doing cool stuff and getting badges for this kind of thing, because a lot of the sort of young things, there's not a lot of things for people to sort of, a lot of things for kids to do in the way of sort of learning things. One thing that's come up recently, Mansell here is starting a thing locally. It's called Maker School. It's pretty much exactly that. I thought it was quite interesting, because as this has all come up in the news, Mansell's been sort of working on this as well. What is Maker School, Mansell?
Maker School is an after-school, you don't get to pause, right? It's like an after-school club for kids of any age, where they can come along here at the famous gallery and build stuff. I've been doing sort of electronic-y crafty workshops here for sort of 2-hour sessions for a while, but you've got a dozen kids in 2 hours, and sometimes it's just really hard to get through particularly the technical stuff, like teaching them how to solder, in that time. But with small groups up to 5, I hope that we can actually teach them how to use a saw and a drill and a soldering iron and all those sorts of things. So very hands-on.
So if you know kids who are sort of interested and always taking things apart and making stuff, get them in touch and get them down for one of those. On to the international stuff, what's been happening. Stuff off-world, this was quite interesting this week. A Japanese astronaut aboard the International Space Station took his Lego kit up onto the space station and built a model of the International Space Station on the International Space Station. Incredibly detailed, rotating arms and everything, and there is actually floating in zero gravity on the space station.
Did he lose any bits?
Oh, God knows. I don't think it's the place to lose bits. Get into all sorts of systems like that. So that was really cool. Earlier in the month I saw an awesome thing as well which came up. I'm just going to really go through a couple of quick videos. This one was particularly good. This is how to take a bunch of bricks from, you know, stuff in an old house which has been taken down or work which has been going on. You use angle iron just to make the slots across, and you can make a pizza oven out of about 40 odd bricks and angle iron, which I thought was very good. I put a link up on that on the Facebook thing. I want to give that a try in the summer. Maybe we'll have a little maker barbecue on the beach or something. One of the high-tech labs, and I think they still make stuff, because this is still stuff you can build. These are quad-rotor drones playing the James Bond theme. There's one here playing the drum, playing various things and playing the keyboard, and they're all just computer controlled. Which I thought was absolutely fantastic. That was sort of there was a few other things. I'll just have to skip. There was one which I think leads on really nicely from sort of fashion stuff. I have to get to YouTube for this, unfortunately, in the presentation. I was looking at the LED surfer. This was some guys in the States who, this is not a negative image as it might actually initially appear. This is an entire suit covered in LEDs, white LEDs, and he is snowboarding off-piste at night. When I say off-piste, that means in between trees and stuff. Thousands of LEDs used in things, got some kind of mask on there, but I thought as someone who sort of, I'm really interested in bringing in, possibly doing some work with like bringing electronics into fabric and stuff like that, and I'd really love to work with a room and get some stuff going. But I just thought that was just a really beautiful effect.
It's like this is using clothing with LEDs.
Yeah, it's starting to become more common. I'm assuming this is using up a lot of power to do this. I'm not sure how long it lasts. I'm not sure it'll be practical, but I certainly want one running on my motorbike. Might make a few people not pull out on me again. Other than that, we've also got, there was just recently, this is going to be slightly annoying to look at YouTube for this. There's a chap in the States. Oh, no, I'm pretty much run out of time. There's a chap in the States who's sort of a prime maker.
Yes, you have.
Yep. I'll just finish
Jim.
up what I'm saying.
Do you think Jim's allowed question and answer like everyone else?
Have you got any questions?
Go on, have you got any questions?
What was the next
Yeah, what's the next
The
one?
next thing is I'm going to go for it, right? There's a guy in the States called Jamie Mansell. He has been a maker. This is a guy who made his own house up in Montana. He's recently designed his own toy, which has been picked up by a UK manufacturer, and it's a toy robot, sort of a six-legged walking thing. I'll see if I can bring this up, because this is really interesting. This is the story of a guy sort of going from making stuff. This is his robot design. He actually started out by making one which was 30 feet wide, with mind to riding it. He then realised he might actually be able to make some money out of selling toy ones first, and then fund the bigger one. This is actually a toy that's been released. It's taken about 2 years. He's been using 3D printing technology. He's really, really enthusiastic about sort of making his toys. Which is a really great story, I thought, about somebody who makes stuff actually really making good. I know I sort of yeah, he did all the prototyping by basically he kept sending his designs to the factory. The factory would sort of make it how the factory thought it should be made, and he'd did it back and go, no, this is wrong. So eventually, the company bought him a 3D printer, and he did it all himself. Got it, all the things worked out, did the entire development himself, and then. No, but he's extremely enthusiastic. He's a Canadian guy.
Yeah.
But that was what I want to say. I'll put up. This is also a whole story about him, how he went from hacking around, making stuff, making robots as a kid, and then it just grew into this big thing, and now it's actually sort of possibly going to set up him and his family for the foreseeable future. So that was all I wanted to say. Any other questions?
How did your 3D printer come along?
My 3D printer, slowly, because I'm running out of money. I've got a lot of things to buy this month, so we'll see how it's going. For those who don't know, I'm building a 3D printer. I've got the frame all built, but I've got a lot of electronics to do. So if anyone knows of any good sources of stepper motors, I need some, because I can't afford them at the moment.
Where would we find them?
Possibly.
So what way?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd get them laser printers, so for throwing them out.
Yeah, I'm going to have to...
No, so now I was asking another question.
Oh yeah, Karen.
The LED suit.
Yeah.
What were you going to say about bicycles? Safety gear for motorcyclists, I suppose.
Yeah, I'd like to have a go at sort of building some gear. That one was done with a lot of LED strings, but I've also seen some actually LED beads. They're LEDs with sort of little rings solid each side, and you can actually sew them in, and you use conductive fabric. You actually use metal fabric, like stainless, and you can actually make the stitching as part of the circuitry. So you don't have to hide wires and everything in there. You can actually stitch into the clothing.
I've seen on the internet pictures of these jackets. It's like, I don't know if they're commercially available, but
there's been a few people making them. I don't know if there's any available yet.
There's also flash. If you're slowing down, they flash a certain way. If you're speeding up, and
there's ones. I've seen ones with indicators as well.
Right, yeah.
The best I've seen of that is they put a whole rack of LEDs on the back, and it wrote your speed in miles an hour. So as you're driving along, the motorist behind you can see what speed you're doing.
On a parallel topic, I've also seen gloves with flames coming out.
Oh yes, I've seen. Yeah. I've seen. Yeah, not obviously not recommended in temperature. That's something. I think we can sort of mill about. If someone's got any pressing questions or announcements.
Anybody else? No, James. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, the big you've all been waiting for, the competition. We didn't shout about this on the radio, we didn't shout about this in the press, and we didn't shout about this on the blog either. Not because we wanted to keep you in suspense, but because we hadn't talked about it between ourselves either. All fundamentally well planned. We are going to do this. Have you enjoyed short, succinct presentations? Is that something you'd like more of? Not many, but we'll do sort of consistently if that's good and moving. But we have this problem of timing 5 minutes. As you can tell, this doesn't really work very well. You don't really hear it. You can't see it very well unless I sort of put it up here or something. It's a bit not suitable for the task at hand. So our challenge to you, if you choose to accept it, is to build a 5-minute timer.
Doesn't have to be electronic.
It could be made out of water, timing droppings into a bucket or whatever. It can be anything you like. It could be sand in a glass tube. It's up to you, but we need a 5-minute timer. We will all judge it next month. The winner will be used as the timer. Yeah, so we'll get to use the winner. Okay? That's your prize. Okay? Just in terms of if you're worried about chucking Arduinos and servos and stepper motors and drivers into it, and it costing £50 to make, you will still own it, and when you want it back, we'll give it to you. But we might do this again in 6 months' time. We might say, let's do it again. And
Just quite fun. Anyone who's got an idea, I'd quite like to see ones which are non-electronic. I'm an electronic guy myself. I'd like to see what they come up with.
marbles or rolling down, you know, it's up to you after this. So, we will be judging, all of us, next month, and it will be on things like, can it time 5 minutes? Little things like that. It will also be judged on things like aesthetics, you know. Does it look good? Does it either look wow or just cool?
Hang on, is it fun?
Yeah, that's right. And other things like, does it require power, and is that going to be a problem every month when we pull it out? You know, that sort of stuff. So, you know, if it requires a petrol generator to run it, that might be a mark down.
But I'm just think about it. I'm going to share some ideas on the page, on the Facebook page if you want, on the blog. Just have a go if you can come up with something. We'd quite like to see it. I might have a go myself.
And collaborate. Can I encourage you to collaborate? Because you know, it's quite interesting if you're into electronics and Arduino-y kind of stuff. If you then hook up with someone who's into textiles and meld the two together, rather than it just being an electronic project or just being a fabric-y kind of constructive project. See who you can hook up with. Tonight is the night to make those connections.
One of the things we wanted to make sure when we sort of started this, it was also that we had a good amount of collaborators, and that's why we got the time up to try and keep it to 5 minutes. No, very much like run over and stuff, and we just want to have, you know, keep it sort of quite succinct. So that's really what the time is there for, and it's just to sort of propel it all along. Really. But how's that one?
Yes.
Could we have a slot for a disaster class as well?
A disaster class.
Like they do at the West Show, where they have all the cakes and stuff that's gone wrong. Who've done projects that have spectacularly failed.
Yeah, and
they've hit
I'd love
a
to
dead
do that.
end,
Yeah.
and they're not sure what to do next. And if they were to kind of show it to everybody else, then somebody might say, "This is what you need to do."
Or even just really
laugh.
spectacular failures. Like, you know, look at how this thing caught fire. You know.
Yeah. Well, I once made, I did a jewellery degree, and I once made a flammable candlestick as quite spectacularly bad. Yeah.
That's a dramatic end to the evening, isn't it? It's time to go home. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we could. If you've got something that you'd like to share with us, then give me a nod or a Jim or a nod, and we'll work it in for next time or whatever. If you would like to stand up here for 5 minutes.
I got an email. Well, I got an email earlier about someone building a computer in a beer can. Something like your casings.
That was my email.
Wooden JCB.
I'm making a hydraulic bulldozer out of wood.
Who'd have thought?
Awesome.
That's brilliant. Excellent.
Right, we need to hear about this and possibly...
5 minutes is up, just about. Can we throw this over to now, because we're already getting into it, a very quick, I'll cancel that and start again in 5 minutes, of shout out. So, you are making a...
Hydraulic bulldozer.
Actual...
How big?
It's only going to be a model. It's to model how hydraulics work.
So as an educational...
Yes, an educational.
That's very cool.
Did you say you were a teacher?
Ladies' college.
Brilliant.
So did you say you were a teacher?
I'm a technician.
A technician.
Yeah, the teachers come to me and say, can you make this? And I make it.
And they said, did you make the hydraulic bulldozer?
Yes. they showed me a video of one working, and so...
And what will it do once you've got just to show people how it works, when you're using it around and things?
Well, it's going to have 2 syringes, and one to control the arm and one to control the bucket. So you have 2 different controls. It's just syringes and wood. Water.
Sweet. I look forward to seeing it.
Can you bring pictures, or can you bring a model?
I will do, yeah, once we bring it.
Yeah, well, if you send us an email with a picture in, we can put it on the blog as well.
Or
if you want.
post up pictures on the Facebook page as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. That's interesting.
Thank you.
You told me before you're restoring a jukebox.
Yes, a 1970s Woolworths jukebox, which mostly working, but it's got a few hiccups, so it's going to be stripped down, figure out what's wrong with it.
This is a proper sort of mechanical pulls-in
mechanical arm,
does the whole thing.
7-inch vinyl, so it's fully stocked at the moment. So Unfortunately, got a little bit damaged in transportation, so I've been trying to like source new glass and get glass specially cut for it so it fits properly.
Cool.
And a few little bits I need doing on it, but hopefully
Keep us up to date on the.
will do, yeah.
I know Josh just came before. You may have seen this fancy little scrolling LED deal here. This was something you built this week. Is it we just in time for the meet?
Yeah, just the other day actually.
Well, tell us what it is.
It's a laser array, and they're linked up using a method called Charlie plexing, which lights up individual rows at a time. And by lighting up a row and then flashing another row very quickly, you can make it appear as if it's scrolling text or anything like that. And you can use this for displaying scrolling text like what I'm doing, or little games.
So you could send text from the computer to that.
Oh yeah, yeah. You could hook this up to your Twitter and have tweets as they come in, just get scrolled across.
Could you have a bigger version of that?
You could. The only limitation with this on this particular board, so I'm using an Arduino, and that's only got a certain amount of pins. And the more LEDs you use, the more pins you need.
You can get larger controls.
You can get larger controls, so that'd be one thing I need to do.
Would it be a simple thing to just make more and more boards as well and line them up next to each other?
That would require a lot of programming.
Yeah.
For it. You'd have to make boards talk to each other.
That's got to use scale,
Not really very well, but there is something called an Arduino Mega, is it?
Yeah, it's a large.
How many outputs do they have?
10s, yeah.
It says 40.
It is quite a lot. You probably
With that, you could probably. This is currently 122 LEDs. You could get thousands out potentially.
And how quickly can you program something in? So could I be sitting here texting something and then it could be coming straight onto that?
You could do that, yeah.
I think I've seen something on the side of the building where people were texting messages and it was the texts were being projected up onto this building.
Yeah, that's entirely possible. Yeah.
Swear words and all.
Yeah.
Anyone still any interesting projects you're working on at the moment?
I'm planning something.
Ooh, what are you planning? Tell us.
An Archimedes screw generator.
Cool. I know what that is. That sounds very cool.
A generator. So yeah, so the water comes in the top, it turns the screw and it's generating electricity. We're just looking into it at the moment. My partner's doing the maths side of it.
So you've got some kind of water supply that you're going to then feed through.
Yeah.
This is actually like a giant like corkscrew thing, water like.
That's what you see in the slush bucket machines.
Yeah, yeah, it's like one of those, but a massive one. That's cool.
Yeah.
Does it essentially work like a watermill? Is that the kind of...
Yeah, it's more efficient than a watermill, but it's, you can put one where a watermill would be. Water comes in and goes down and turns into. I'm working on, I'm trying to find out how to build it. It's quite technically difficult.
Get some shouts on the page and just see, we've got quite a few people who like the Facebook page now. We've had some sort of interesting conversations on that. So.
How big will it be?
I don't know, it's about a 6-foot drop. So
Right.
we've just got to work out with the volume of water. We're going to find out next week what size we need to get the kind of output.
What do you make out of metal or wood or fiberglass?
We've looked into metal and wood at the moment.
Right.
But yeah, it's
What sort of output are you looking at a 6-foot drop?
I'm not too sure. I don't know how to sing all the different, but it should be enough to generate a house. Yeah. We should have enough flow.
Awesome sauce.
How long do you think it would take to make?
I don't know. I don't know. We're not in too much of a rush. It depends.
Is this the Parry York house?
Yes. Yeah. Well, a holiday home, right? So I'm not going to this for the water.
Would there be enough left to sell back to the grid and therefore to kind of, if they offer that service where you are, and therefore you kind of actually get reward from it as well?
Yeah, we might do. Yeah.
So that was pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got a few different schemes. So
Yeah, therefore you can sort of, not only you getting free electricity, but also you getting a bit of extra money, you know that.
Okay, so we've sort of run about 5 minutes now. If you've got other stuff to talk about, we want to talk about, just sort of mill around, talk to yourselves, and we'll just sort of, I've got some things to get on with. If anyone's got some pieces, but just...
Can you just tell us again what sort of things we could learn or do with you?
Marcel has got these little sort of candles on the table. He's doing sort of soldering things there. I've got a breadboard here which I'm just going to be messing around with to figure out a flashing circuit for my bike. I think the rest of it. It's yeah. If you need to know anything about that, otherwise, just ask around and have a chat and see what people are doing.
Yep.
So, what more drinks have yourself?
Biscuits, yes.
Yeah, just tuck into the biscuits.
Fantastic, lovely to see you. Mingle, have fun.